Hey everybody, Matt here. I'm just making a real quick video here. This is going to be kind of a just an observation video. I'm sitting here watching a show that I recorded on my DVR last night, and I'm just now getting a chance to watch it back. And a lot of you may have heard of it. This is the second season. It's called The Colony, and it's a really good show. I watched it last season, and basically what they do is they take a group of people and they put them in a situation and they say, okay, you need to survive. And they put them in this mock kind of situation where I think last season was some sort of war had broken out. I don't know if they don't really specify really what exactly it is that had happened. At least they didn't last season. But basically you're put into a survivalist situation where it's, you know, WROL, and it's a shit hit the fan, it's, you know, whatever. It's a situation where you're left in the middle of nowhere to just depend on whatever knowledge you have to survive. And they made it through the whole last season. It was really good. And I'm not going to give it away because if you get a chance, check it out. I think you can get it like on Netflix, or you can catch them on DVD or something like that. But it was on the Discovery Channel. And anyway, they just started part 2 here today, and I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm about 10 minutes into it, not too far. And this year's scenario is they're in New Orleans, and it's after a epidemic has hit basically the entire world, a sort of like the avian flu, but a more advanced avian flu. I think they said they call it the nuclear flu, and it's completely made up. Now it's feasible, obviously. So what they've done is they've taken 12 people from different backgrounds and put them in this situation where they start out the show, they're in quarantine, and then they get released from quarantine, put into a helicopter, and dropped in Louisiana and told, or in New Orleans specifically, and told that they will be picked up when a permanent settlement can be found for them. And they're basically dropped into the middle of this 8 square block radius of old broken down buildings, which obviously is left. It's areas of Louisiana where Hurricane Katrina hit that still haven't been repaired. And anyway, like I said, I've been watching this for the first 10 minutes, and I've got it paused right now, as you can see. And here comes my daughter to walk into the screen here. And anyway, I've seen, I can't even tell you how many mistakes I've seen. And I just want kind of some of y'all's thoughts on this. Because already at this point, they've picked an apartment complex building for their shelter. Now this has probably at least 2 windows for every building. It looks like it may have housed about 8 apartments. Each apartment has at least 2 windows in it. The walls are stripped out. The floor between the upstairs and the downstairs is caved in. Okay, they've started. That's mistake number 1 for me. They're surrounded by other areas, and I would have sworn. Now I'm only 10 minutes in, but I would have sworn I saw buildings that were much better suited for that, with less windows. Because in a situation like this, you really want to bug in and you want to be protected. I would not pick an apartment building with that many windows. Especially that many windows on the ground floor. There's no way to secure it, at least not in a way that is time sensitive and just in general just a good idea. I mean, you could find a better building, and I would have sworn while they were looking in this 8 square block radius, they could have there was a couple of warehouses and some other things that I would have chosen first. So that's mistake number 1 for me. Number 2 was they've decided to keep most of their stuff outside. They've built a fire pit outside to cook and boil water on. Their water filtration system that they've put together, which is the standard charcoal, and I'm going to rewind it here just to show you kind of what I'm talking about, because it was really getting on my nerves. The sand charcoal mixture where you sit there and go back and forth one for the other. They did this outside the apartment building. Basically, so far, everything they've done, and I'm just going to show you clips here. Look, they're doing this outside, and I don't know if you can see that. Everything they're doing outside of the apartment building. Nothing is secure. First of all, this place could be broken into by anybody. There's windows all over this apartment building. There's one right there behind them. Second of all, their water filtration system. Right now they're about to dig a pit here. The pit is outside. If you can see this, it's outside. So they have to do all their cooking outside now. Their water filtration is outside. Their food storage is actually inside, but it's just sitting on a rack up against the wall where all their food is, about 5 feet from a window. I mean, like I said, I know that what they've done here is that you basically have people who are in construction. There's a couple guys in construction. One's a teacher. One chick is a model. I don't remember what the other people are. One guy was actually an inventor. And, you know, a few other things here that, you know, so a couple things that actually make sense. But, so I understand that some of these people have no idea what they're doing, and I get that. I get that. But wouldn't you think common sense would tell you to not to when there's a chance that you're in a you know, a shit hit the fan without rule of law situation, wouldn't common sense tell you, hey, I need to kind of bug in a little bit. I don't want to have to go outside to do my cooking and get my water, and I don't want to have to be watching, you know, 16 windows on the ground floor of the building I live in, or figure out a way to cover those windows securely when I can just go pick a building that has, you know, brick or cinder block walls or whatever it is. So anyway, that's just my thoughts. I don't really want to get too into it, but, you know, I mean, I suggest everybody check out this show. I have a feeling that the way this show will progress is these people will eventually learn that they're going to have to bring their fire and their water and all that stuff into a secure building. Judging from last season, they actually randomly have people come in and attack and steal their food, and these people really have to live for 50 days on only what they can bring to the table. And I think last season, one of the people had to be taken off the show because he actually really got sick. You know, it's actually pretty realistic, and they will actually have mock attacks where, you know, people come in and actually get attacked and they have their things stolen from them. So I have a feeling that eventually these people will learn. But, you know, what do you think about that? First of all, what do you think about the show in general? I mean, I loved the show last season. I watched every episode. It was a great show. And then what do you think about how they're doing it? You know, just the whole... They're really just kind of acting like there's nothing to be concerned about. They're worried about food, they're worried about water, they're worried about shelter, but they're not worried about security at all. I mean, these people are just blatantly ignorant when it comes to the mindset of people in that situation. I mean, there are going to be people out there that are going to try to kill you and take your shit. Period. You know? And these people seem to be oblivious to that fact. Now, granted, like I said, I know it's a TV show, so... but it is a reality TV show, so these people really should get themselves in that mindset. So anyway, you know, let me know what you think. Like I said, it's a good show. I like it. I enjoy it. There's them cooking outside their apartment building again. And you look at all those windows you can see there. You know, they got a good fire going, good fire pit. Everything's great. But anyway, this video has been way too long. So, but I highly suggest you check it out. It's The Colony. It's on Discovery Channel. It comes on Monday nights. Like I said, I'm just now watching. This is the first episode of this season, so they will rerun it several times this week. And then check out last season. Last season was the first season. But yeah, they really just, it really has just annoyed me that watching all the mistakes they're making. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Check the show out. Leave me your thoughts on this kind of stuff, because, I mean, seriously, I mean, is this something that just a lot of people don't know? You know, I mean, security's got to be priority number one in a situation like this. Or is this just something that where we happen to be, you know, I mean, is that a widespread thing that most people don't realize, that you have to secure yourself and your belongings in a situation like this, and your family? Or, you know, or is it just that they happen to pick the only people that don't realize how important it is? Anyway, that's it. Get out of here. I think I've said that like 3 times. The video's been way too long, so we'll talk to y'all later. Thanks.